It is once again time. Monday Night Raw, August 11th, 2014. Yes, indeed. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been, I wouldn't say it's a complete letdown. I'd like to say that this build for all of these matches hasn't been totally crap. I think most of them have been just all right, but that's the problem with these big shows, is that we're supposed to expect this SummerSlam 2005 type of build to it, that even now that we get a mediocre build, we're just not content with it. And I don't know. I think it's been mediocre at best. And I mean, the bright side, it's not nearly as bad as it was in 2011, where the whole show was centered around CM Drunk and John Cena. At least this time around, it's we have quite a few matches to look forward to. Yes, indeed. Well, we're on the topic of the main event of SummerSlam. Let's talk about AJ Lee versus Paige for the Divas Championship. The newly heel Paige versus the babyface AJ. Yes, indeed. Now that this feud is fully come to circle, I don't expect anything huge to happen on Splatdown, even though sometimes it usually pull out some fun stuff. I can honestly say that this feud was, I don't want to say it was a complete disappointment, because, I mean, it wasn't bad, but it just it didn't totally live up to the hype. But then again, neither has Paige ever since she's debuted on the main stage. So I'm personally looking very much forward to this match. Like you said, the first time ever, I think, in history that the Divas will main event a Big Four pay-per-view for the championship, nevertheless. And I don't know, I'm expecting good things out of this match, but since you just mentioned Stephanie McMahon and Brie Bella, I guess I can put a hold to the stuff here and talk about that jobber feud for a second here. I don't know, I mean, the way that you explain this whole affair angle kind of makes it seem like it killed the story. I personally think that it kind of added a little bit to the story, kind of added a little bit more of a simpy angle for Brie Bella. And even though, like, I don't know, the only reason that this doesn't work is not because of Brie Bella, it's because of Daniel Bryan. Like, who would believably believe that Daniel Bryan has the spine to cheat on Brie Bella? I mean, he's already reaching when he's with Brie Bella. And this is not to, like, bury Daniel Bryan. I just don't think no one believes Daniel Bryan is the type of guy to cheat on her. So, I don't know. I think that's the only reason that this would be believed as cheap. But since I did hear that this girl is a wrestler, this is a hell of a way to debut her on the main roster. And if she is going to be a wrestler, let's just hope to God she's better than other call-ups that have been recently renowned. But yeah, this feud has been good. It has lost a little bit of steam, but everything has made sense. Everything has been pretty good. There hasn't been anything bad, at least not in my opinion, and this should still end up being one of the most anticipated matches come Shell Shock Slam. The only thing is, like you said, everyone's saying it's going to be a bad match. I'm one of the people that thinks this match won't be very good, and not because of Brie, but because of Stephanie. Like, okay, Stephanie has a nice physique and she's fit, but Ezekiel Jackson had a nice physique and he was fit, and we all know that he was not the greatest of technicians, and you know, the list goes on and on of people who look great but don't look great in the ring. So I don't know. I don't expect this match to be very good. It might have a chance to be decent. I don't think it will. I think this will be like one of those matches where Stephanie is going to beat up on Brie almost the entire match, and then, just do like weird punches and kicks, headlocks and stuff like that, some cheap heel tactics, and then Brie is going to muster a comeback. But one thing I do predict happening this Sunday that I feel is completely obvious is the hell turn of Nikki Fela, ladies and gentlemen. And that's one of the things I'm looking forward to is a Brie Fela versus Nikki Fela feud. And personally, I'm actually kind of looking forward to that. Anyway, on to the opinion that actually matters. This feud has definitely been not as impressive as it probably should have been. And they're making it very physical, very hardcore, like the most physical Divas feud. Aside from, I think Cameron and Naomi have an advantage over that in that, I don't know, like I can see in their eyes that they legitimately want to kill each other. Whereas with AJ and Paige, it's like, AJ kind of looks like she wants to kill Paige, but I don't think even Paige can pull that off. But anyway, I don't know. I kind of agree with the WWE to give Paige a little bit more mic time to see if she improves. And she's improving slightly, but you don't really improve a whole lot from horrible. She went from horrible to just bad. So, it's just not good stuff from Paige on the mic. And then, it's just, she ended up costing AJ the match against Eva fucking Marie. What the hell, dude? I haven't raged this hard at my TV. I haven't been in this much shock since the streak ended. This was like, I was so mad. And I'm talking about the Bo Dallas streak, by the way. I was so mad after Eva Marie pinned AJ that I just, God damn it all to hell, what the hell is life when Eva Marie defeats your favorite? That's when you know that you're 6 feet deep and someone's up there with a shovel about to throw dirt on your face. Alright, this is fucking ridiculous. Anyway, if AJ does not walk out Divas champion this Sunday at Shell Shock Slam, I will end up very upset, even more upset now. And I will continue to question my motives for life. Anyway, I am looking very much forward to this match. Should be a good match. I heard they're gonna, I heard they let out how much time each match is gonna get at SummerSlam, and I heard this match is gonna get around 10 to 15 minutes. So it should be pretty good. They're going to have a decent amount of time to do some good stuff, and hopefully they can actually click now. Because it just seems like they're just not clicking like the WWE would like. And sometimes that happens, and it takes a little bit of time for them to fully click. Where, I remember like The Rock and Triple H would have horrible matches at first, and then they finally click. So I think, these two are definitely like The Rock and Triple H, where AJ's The Rock, and Paige is like Triple H. Well, I'd just like to remind somebody that this was their first ever time that they have really gotten time to actually wrestle a match, and they just haven't clicked yet. So maybe their chemistry has gone upward. I heard from our comments section that they actually had a pretty good house show match, but I don't know. I'm just taking his word there. Not totally 100% sure, but that's always a possibility. There's always that time where just things just magically click. Like I remember also CM Drunk and John Morrison used to have bad matches on EC Dub. CM Drunk would even bury them himself. And then just one night, everything absolutely clicked. So, you can never rule out that possibility. Yes, indeed, I was going to make my way all the way from to California, and then it just happened that, well, it's not necessarily that the card or the show was disappointing. It's just, if you're gonna make the trip, you kind of just want a full weekend experience, not just that one day. So that's kind of what threw me off there. But AJ versus Paige was one of the few things that made me still want to go, but the jobber didn't want to come anymore, so you know how that works. You all know how real life works. I don't need to explain it to you, but anyway, another thing that did kind of make me want to go was going to go cheer on for my favorite underdog babyface Brock Lesnar to take on that monster heel. That I don't even think we can say his name. If you want to explain why.
Yes, indeed, this snarky, disgusting. Like you can tell that this isn't even a character anymore. Like you could tell with CM Punk that the last couple of years of his career wasn't even a character. It was just who he was. And you could tell that this snarky, this condescending, this arrogant, just egotistical heel, John Cena, that's just who he is in real life. And, it's a damn shame that, the poor Make-A-Wish, they think that that's a character, and they think that this guy behind the scenes is any different than the guy we see on TV. But we see the facade, Cena. Your facade has been exposed, and it is just disgusting to watch on television. I actually had to change the channel a few times because some of my inner veins were starting to explode from just the anger that I saw just seeing him. If you ever saw that angry face on Vince McMahon whenever Shawn Michaels would win back in 2006, that's kind of what I was. Whenever DX would beat the Spirit Squad, basically, like I'm like Vince McMahon and John Cena's like DX, except John Cena's nowhere near as cool as them, and it just pisses me off all the damn time. And he's just this arrogant, this monster heel that cannot be stopped. And this poor guy, Paul Heyman and Brock Lesnar, trying to pay their respects to the legends tonight, trying to just wish Hulk Hogan a happy birthday. And of course, John Cena has to come over here and then just brainwash all the poor legends who I'm sure have Alzheimer's by now and believe that John Cena's a good guy and just make them into his group of thugs, just like they jumped poor Carlito back in 2004. 10 years later, they wanted to do the same thing to Brock Lesnar, him and his group of thugs. And you know what? This is just disgusting to watch. Brock Lesnar couldn't even, pay his respects to the legends. He paid his respect to Roddy Piper, but before he could get to the real legends like Mr. Wonderful, he ended up getting interrupted. So it was just disgusting to watch. And I heard that Kevin Nash tore his quad singing, so that's pretty miraculous there. But like you said, I'm looking forward to this underdog, Brock Lesnar, coming out on top with a victory. Even though it's very unlikely to happen, we still want this underdog, Brock Lesnar, to overcome all these odds. And before we close this out, I just want to praise these video packages that the WWE does, like what they did with their one-on-one with Bray Wyatt and Chris Jericho, which we'll get to in a second, and the thing they did with John Cena and Brock Lesnar where they interviewed them behind. I think that those are done particularly well. I think, the fact that they only do them for Brock Lesnar matches kind of helps them in the fact that they stay fresh, they stay cool. And it's just, I don't know, I mean, the beautiful thing about these things is they don't rely on crowd reactions, so they don't have to worry about saying these over-the-top things just to get a reaction. Like here, they could just say whatever the hell's on their mind, like Brock Lesnar telling, that guy who probably asked them, is John Cena a babyface? And Brock Lesnar was like, ask me another stupid fucking question, and stuff like that. So I don't know. I really like these whole video package things. For coming from someone that didn't expect anything coming out of this feud ended up being actually better than what I thought it would be. Like, it's not this match that I'm gonna go out of my way to see. It's not the match that I'm gonna call in sick for work because I'm definitely gonna be sick this Sunday to go watch. But this is the match that I'm not gonna miss because WWE did a pretty good job building it. I mean, look, the fact is with Randy Orton at this point, the interest level in him is not very high. And it's kind of hard to get people to want to see a Randy Orton match where Triple H isn't involved very much. Triple H was involved somewhat, but it was mostly just Randy Orton becoming the Viper again and becoming that guy he was in 2012. Not saying that we want that guy back, but some of the stuff that he used to do back then was pretty cool, and he kind of pulled some of that stuff out here.
So I think that this was built up pretty well, and I don't really understand your analyzation there of Roman Reigns. I thought he did tremendously well working that crowd tonight and just waiting for them to respond. Basically, he had them eating out of the palm of his hand. So I thought he did a pretty good job of working that crowd tonight. His whole thing where he tried to deliver that, you better believe that was a little bit weird. I didn't understand that either, but I thought that he did a pretty good job of taking pauses, and it seems like he has he's a little more comfortable with the crowd, and he has a better feel of when they're going to react and what they're going to react to. So I think Roman Reigns has improved in that aspect when it comes to mic skills, and I don't expect this match to be over the top good, but I expect this match to deliver a very, very solid match in the middle of the card. Well, I can honestly say that they did a way better job building toward their Shell Shock Slam match than their Big Guy Ground match, although it was kind of hard to do any worse. Like I said before, these whole interview backstage segments like they did with Brie Bella last week or 2 weeks ago, and the way they did this here, I think that this adds a lot because, again, they don't have to try so hard for fan reactions. And for this, I think Bray Wyatt cut the best promo he's cut since his feud with John Cena here, when he basically said that Chris Jericho turned into a savior himself because he couldn't save anything from his father, from his childhood, into saving his father's respect for him and stuff like that. I thought that this was tremendously well done, and I'm personally a fan of the way Bray Wyatt speaks in riddles sometimes, although sometimes it's not fully the way to go, because sometimes he loses the crowd or they get confused in what he says. He throws all these loopholes in there, and it's like, what I don't understand what you just said. But right here, it was man to man, but Bray Wyatt did not lose his self of character, and I think we need to see this side of Bray Wyatt a little bit more often in order to get the fans to connect with him a little bit more. Yes, he's already over because he's different, he's a fun character, and he went after John Cena. Now let's give him some more reasons as to why the fans should care about Bray Wyatt, because, as of late, they haven't done a whole lot, and Bray Wyatt is losing a lot of steam right here, and I think even if he goes over Jericho at Shell Shock Slam, which I fully expect, that even then it's like Bray Wyatt will still be not only will he not gain that much momentum, but then it's like, okay, what's he gonna do now? Are we gonna see a third match between the two, like the rubber match at Night of Champions to sell more tickets, or I don't know. I mean, if we're gonna have if all Bray Wyatt feuds are just gonna be trilogies, it's like I don't see where this guy comes off as strong at all. Well, it's like I tried to say when this started. It was like it just felt a little bit weird to have a face Zeb Colter and a face Jack Swagger, and like I said, this just ended up being meh, just like I expected it to be. And the most over person in this feud never even showed up on television. That's Vladimir Putin. I mean, you have Lana, who takes cheap shots at the crowd every turn she gets, and then you have Zeb Colter, who has some of the weakest face lines in history. He called, I forgot what he called Rusev, and I cringed. I'm like, is this the man who's one of the best mic workers in the WWE right now? Because if so, my God, are the guys on the stick that weak? But just overall, this has been a meh feud. It hasn't been bad by any means. It just hasn't been as great as people thought it would be, even though it just kind of lived up to my expectations pretty much. And I don't know. I mean, a pole on a pole match, that's one thing that I kind of find funny, is that the exact pay-per-view after Vince Russo gets fired from TNA, WWE decides to have a pole on a pole match. I don't know if it's collusion or if there's an alliance going on here somewhere. I put emphasis on alliance and stuff like that. But anyway, I fully expect this match to be to be kind of fun. I know that Jack Swagger isn't exactly the greatest of wrestlers, but he's a decent wrestler. Rusev, like you said, Rusev isn't exactly he's not this powerhouse that they try to portray him as at first, and now they're trying to
finally play out to his like martial arts style a little bit. So it's unique and it's fun to watch, like you said. So I guess that'll keep our interest going in this match. But I mean, I don't know. I mean, you have this personal feud going on between two countries, and you had a match that had to end in count out last time, and you're gonna resolve everything in a flag match. Like last time there was a flag match, it was on SmackDown between Hunico and Ted DiBiase, which both guys got dieted in that time. So maybe both of these guys will get dieted next time a flag match comes around too. Yeah, I think this feud has been pretty good. They took their time with it. They didn't rush anything. They let Dean Ambrose get his momentum. They let Seth Rollins get his momentum. And, they did a lot of fun stuff here. They went outside the box. They dedicated a whole pay-per-view to this feud. And, this is probably the second or third, third most important match at SummerSlam, or Shell Shock Slam. I'm terribly sorry for that horrible enunciation. But, it's one of the things that I've noticed about the build towards Shell Shock Slam is that since they're trying to build so many feuds, it's kind of like they have to put one on the back burner after they do something cool with another one, and it's been like a revolving door with all these feuds with them. Like with every single feud that isn't Brie Bella versus Stephanie and Bork versus John Cena, and hell, even that match has been on that revolving door. Every match that isn't Brie Bella versus Stephanie McMahon kind of seems like a mid-card feud. How mid-card feuds should be built. Like it has its fair share of spotlight, but it's not so over the top that the show's built around it. And that's not saying that it's a bad thing. That's why one of the reasons why we kind of look forward to watching SummerSlam. But at the same time, it's like, okay, you do kind of need those 1, 2, or sometimes on special occasions 3 matches that, people are looking forward to the most. And then on this one, it's like, okay, I'm looking forward to this one, but I'm also looking forward to this one. Or I'm not looking forward to that one. I'm also not looking forward to that one because it didn't get that much attention. And it's like you could pick one feud out of a hat. And it's like, okay, that got as much attention as picked another feud out of the hat as this feud. So I don't know. That's one thing that I've noticed. But back to the topic at hand, Dean Ambrose versus Seth Rollins. They did pretty good. They took their time with it. They didn't rush anything. They both got their fair share of momentum. I think they made it a little too obvious, though. I think it would have gotten a bigger pop from the crowd, and it would have been cooler had Dean Ambrose just popped out of the present with, if Seth Rollins had never even looked at the present to begin with. Because I mean, come on, seriously. I mean, if I go at Christmas, if I'm beefing with someone at Christmas time, am I really gonna look at a big present and be like, is he in there? Is he gonna jump out at me? It's like, dude, come on. I mean, they just made it too obvious there. But I'm looking forward to this match. It should be a good match. Like you said, the lumberjack match stipulation kind of killed it. Like, they could have done anything with it. They could have made this a ladder match for the Money in the Bank briefcase. They could have done a steel cage or something like that. But no, I mean, instead we just get a lumberjack match, a vicious lumberjack match. And, I mean, it's just like, come on, dude. Like, I don't know. I mean, I think Dean Ambrose was pretty pissed off with it, just like he was pissed off with the new theme song they gave him. I don't know. I mean, that sounded pretty Wwe Raw, but you could tell by the look in his eyes. He was pretty pissed off that they changed his theme song. Yes, this jobber feud, this pre-show style feud with just Dolph Ziggler trying to carry the stale. Actually, I think that's what I'm going to call him now. It's pretty creative and fun. The stale. The Intercontinental Champion hasn't done anything fun and relevant. The only Wwe Raw that he's had in the past few weeks has been, tonight when he shut up Michael Cole for being a hypocritical parasite, for, trying to bury him on commentary. But, anyway, yeah, I really don't care about this feud. And, what's funny is next week I'm headed to Raw, fly from Las Vegas, Nevada, and, we're definitely going to be cheering the one-man rock band really hard. I'm going to try my damnedest to get a one-man rock band chant going, even though now he's dubbing himself the three-man band. I definitely, I think that's a little too emotional right now. It's a little bit too soon. It's only been 2 months since we lost these guys. But Heath Slater lives on.
he's on a roll right now, and one thing that would be fucking awesome to see is if they teamed up Heath Slater and Bo Dallas. I think that'd be one of the greatest fucking tag teams in history, because I don't know, there's just something about these two that would just like mesh well together, I think, and they would just have like these funny interactions, this funny stuff, and I think, you know what, fuck the Ascension. I think that they should team up Bo Dallas and Heath Slater and just make them a tag team and win the belts off the Usos. So it is once again time for that pay-per-view prediction game. You all know the rules. Don't be acting brand new. We know all of you magically come out during the pay-per-view prediction season. Even though you don't comment on the rest of our videos, there's some of you that literally just come on to the pay-per-view predictions part, leave your comments on predictions, and then never comment on our videos again. So yeah, but okay. You all know the rules. You know what you get if you win. So let's run down the matches and give our predictions. Dolph Ziggler versus The Miz for the Intercontinental Championship. I heard not too long ago that Dolph Ziggler was put over Randy Orton at a house show, and apparently when that happens, they test the waters to see how the crowd reacts before they put it on live TV, so maybe Dolph is going to get a big push. I don't think it's going to start with this, though. I fully expect The Miz to retain the Intercontinental Championship in that very ring and continue his stale act. Bo Dallas versus R-Truth. Well, not fully announced, not official yet, but we assume that this match is going to make the SummerSlam card as filler. Just in case I'm predicting this is filler, Bo Dallas is going to win and continue the streak going on. Bray Wyatt versus Y2J Chris Jericho. Bray Wyatt has to go over here, otherwise his career is dead. That is all that I'm leaving it at. Seth Rollins versus Dean Ambrose in a The Lumberjack match. It's kind of tough to call because both guys could use the win, but then again, neither guy would really be that hurt with a loss. So it's a little bit tough, but I guess I'll take Seth Rollins since he is Mr. Money in the Rye Bank, and he probably needs this victory a little bit more than Dean Ambrose does. And since Dean Ambrose is so great on the mic, it probably won't matter if he loses this match anyway. So I guess I'll take Seth Rollins. I think there's going to be some kind of a cheap finish too, so just so Dean Ambrose doesn't look all the way weak. Jack Swagger versus D. Rusev in a pole flag match. This is another one that's a little bit tough to call. You have this up-and-comer that's rising as the heel foreigner, but he's lost a little bit of steam. And then you have Jack Swagger, who the WWE seems hell-bent to push. And right now that he's garnered a lot of momentum, it's kind of hard to see him lose. And you can see by the way that the WWE protected him at big guy ground that they might still want to push him. So it is a little bit tough to call as well, but I'll still take the heel foreigner that they're trying to build up in the Rusev going over Jack Swagger. And even though it's kind of hard because I'm picking a lot of heels to win, and it's kind of hard to see a show with so many heels winning. So I'm thinking that this might be a match where they might have the babyface go over, but we'll just have to wait and see. But I'll still take the Rusev to go. Divas Championship match: AJ Lee versus Paige. It's kind of hard to call because I expected Paige to gain a little more momentum and win the belt off AJ at this point. But since she hasn't been able to come into full fruition with her character, it's kind of tough to see her win the belt right now. It'd be kind of out of nowhere and wouldn't make a whole lot of sense. So, it's tough to see. But you know what? It would make sense for Paige to win and then have Brie go after Paige or something like that. But I don't know. I mean, then again, Paige probably isn't good enough for that storyline. So I'll take AJ to win this match and retain the Divas Championship. Brie Bella versus Stephanie McMahon.
Like I said earlier, I expect Bree to get dominated most of the match with rest holds and stuff, since Stephanie isn't totally the quickest in-ring technician ever, and it's pretty much the only story they'll probably be able to tell. And then Bree is gonna pull off a comeback before Nikki Bella turns heel, costs her the match. Stephanie McMahon wins with a pedigree. And you know what would be really cool is if they did something like I remember when Shawn Michaels got beat down after a match with Triple H back in 2002, where, Triple H broke a sledgehammer on his back. I think that'd be pretty cool if Stephanie McMahon did that to Brie Bella. And finally, the WWE, I was going to say network, World Heavyweight Championship match. Brock Lesnar versus John Cena, the unstoppable heel, the immovable object, and the irresistible force, meets the poor, helpless babyface that is going to try and last 5 minutes in there. We all know who's who in that match, but you know what? I'm feeling lucky. I'm feeling pretty crazy right now. I think I'll take John Cena to win. I'm just shitting you, folks. I'm feeling really crazy. I'll take Brock Lesnar to pull off the massive upset. I think I'm gonna go bet on this in the casino since I live in Las Vegas. I think Brock Lesnar is the 3 billion to 1 underdog. So I think if I put $1, I'll end up walking out a billionaire if Brock Lesnar somehow miraculously ends up with the victory. So yeah, I'll take Brock Lesnar to win this match. So that is Shell Shock Slam predictions and a rundown of what has been the build-up toward Shell Shock Slam. Overall, pretty decent build-up. Again, it's not going to blow you away, but it hasn't been bad either. And we are pretty much looking forward to this show. And again, I will be headed to Raw. So guys, if you can think of some signs that you think I should make, I've already thought of some. If I could just run them by you real quick. Let's see. I have one that's going to say Bo Dallas changed my life, where hopefully and then I'm going to draw a picture of a guy with a gun to his head. Another one is going to be one reason to watch WWE. 3MB forever. I think that might be the wittiest one I have so far. Oh, there's also a one where I tell Stephanie McMahon not to drop the soap, and then there's another one where I have to ask Triple G how much the WWE Network is, because as much as they like to shove that down our throats, they don't really talk about the prices very much. Maybe it's in that fine print down below. But yeah, if there's anything else that you guys think I should take, I'll definitely open up suggestions. Thank you for joining us. This has been the MT Omar Reviews, saying yada, yada, yada. Blah, blah, blah. And before we completely leave, we'd like to remind you that you can catch Shell Shock Slam this Sunday on the WWE Network for just $9.99.